Hey everybody, Monday night train room, here we go. So I told you guys a while back in one of the videos I was talking about with some of my upcoming projects that I was planning on getting back into HO, or at least just having an HO layout that I could run continuously. You guys have seen my switching layout. That's not one you're constantly moving it. So but to be able to actually sit and watch trains in HO, I figured, you know what, I can build something smaller. So I went through my inventory actually, and I think I showed you guys this on that last video where I said when I was going to do this. So excuse the mess as usual, but this is an old model power set that was actually given to me. Guy at my church who had a bunch of HO stuff that was actually left in his house when he had moved in, and he finally years later found something to do with it and give it to me. So that was good. But I was kind of thinking about an HO project, and then I went through my inventory and everything I had, and I'm like, I probably have enough in here to build a decent project. So this was the track plan in that model power starter set. All it was a 36-inch diameter loop. Curves only, no straight track, no nothing. So I just cut a 42 by 42 inch board to place it on, and I figured that would be good enough. And now we're using, right now I'm just using the old model power controller. You can see how ancient this thing is. There's your direction, there's your speed. There's still room for putting accessories on. You can still use that. So I mean, it's not a bad little controller, honestly. I kind of like it. Whether I keep it using it for this layout or not, I'll definitely want to do something for this, or I may just, whenever I need a controller, I can hook it up. The only thing I might do is put a different wire on it, like a Kato wire for feeder track, which you can get those as well. So, but it works pretty well. And so the probably the hardest part of this entire layout was laying the road bed and putting the track on. Track's still a little dirty. I've been kind of cleaning it up a little bit, and then getting it glued down. I had so many problems with keeping this track together while I was laying the road bed. So it started with I would put the track together and start laying the road bed, and I'd be putting nails in it to hold it together, real fine, real tiny nails to use. I didn't use pins like we normally would for this. Um, and then at one point, I actually got the thing all the way around to the other side, and one of the rail joiners was slightly off. So by like the end of it, like my track was like this. So like it was the one coming in here, like right about here. It was like this and this. And I'm like, this is just not working. So I ripped it up several times, put it back together. Finally got it, and I think we're pretty even on the measurements. It might be a little bit off from one side to another, but it's not by much. And you know what? It's whatever at this point. It's staying how it is. So I am gonna cut the corners off. I just took the measurement of a speed square and just drew a line there. So I'm gonna cut all those corners off. I'm gonna probably get some like 1x1s or something to put underneath, like underneath the lip here, going all the way around, and then I'm gonna have like some sort of border going around that's like higher than what the layout's gonna be. Not by much. I mean, maybe like an inch or so. And on the front here, because this is the front where the feeder wires are at. I mean, it really doesn't matter once I get it once I get it on the base I want it and the wired and everything. Because I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm actually going to install a DCC controller, at least the panels, NCE power cab, if you guys have used those. I've never done anything in DCC, honestly. I have DCC locomotives, and I have never dove into it. I mean, being primarily in Z-scale, I know they do make decoders and they do make DCC setups, but you just don't need it for a scale that small. But like N scale, a lot of people like it. HO, O gauge. I mean, definitely HO. I mean, I think it makes more sense. And there's a lot. I want to get when it comes to HO. There's a lot of new things coming out that I've been watching, whether it's Broadway Limited or Kato or Atlas, Athearn. another one. Walthers, especially. Walthers makes great trains. This Penn Central F7 and this Conrail GP15 are both Atlas, and they're great, or Walthers, and they're great. So this is a Walthers car, actually, as well as Penn Central Gondola. So I actually, if you haven't seen Jimmy from the DIY and Digital, his railroad, his HO railroad that he just built, I'll leave the link in the description. It is sick how he built this. It's a foldable HO layout. And just like how he kind of mentioned was, he wanted a space to be able to run HO trains consistently because there are a lot of new things coming out. And I kind of thought the same thing where, yeah, it would be kind of cool to, because when I see something like that I like in HO, and I'm like, well, I don't really have a need for that right now, and I don't really have much of a place to run it unless I put it on a switching layout or set up a loop of track on the floor. I know this layout isn't much, but it's a continuous loop, and probably anything I'm going to go for is going to be able to withstand these curves. I'm not going to go for something gigantic, so, mostly, mid-sized steam diesels, things like that. I don't think I'd go get an HO scale big boy or a Challenger or something and put it on here. I don't think I'm ready for that yet. But so this is where we're at with it. So the ultimate plan with this is a 4 seasons layout. So each corner, well, I'm going to cut the corners off, but you get what I mean. Each quadrant basically is going to be a different season. Now, I have seen very little of this on YouTube. I don't know if I just haven't looked that well, but from what I've seen, there's not a lot of 4 seasons layouts out there. And the one thing I have seen with it is there's a real gentle fade between the seasons, and it's not like, I feel like it overlaps too much. And not that it's like the most realistic, of course, but like I want to have a hard line between seasons. Like you're going to know when it's fall and you're going to know when it's winter, and you're going to cross right into it. So just something like that. And then spring and summer, I'm having trouble figuring out how I want to divide those two. I even thought about maybe like for the summer one, putting like make it look like sand and look like a beach almost, like a train running through the beach, maybe palm trees or something. So we'll see. Maybe that'll happen. I don't know yet. I'm still got that in question. So well, for now, let's let this run a little bit. So this is my son's Conrail. He's gonna be 16 months old, and his pappy got him this for his first birthday. So runs pretty well on here for an old track. I mean, I definitely cleaned this up. I used a lot of rubbing alcohol on this. And you guys know me. I just ramble on, and then I come back to something that was important. And oh yeah, I have to tell you this. So to keep the track together, I actually had to go around and solder every rail joiner because it just wasn't working. So I did it in 3 sections with 4 pieces of track, and then I laid it out on here, and then came around and soldered all the other ones. So I had a complete circle that was all attached, and it was staying attached, providing I didn't like really jerk it around. But that made it way easier to lay the roadbed. And then I didn't really glue underneath the roadbed as much. I actually took some silicone and went around, between silicone, tacky glue, just kind of going around here and here, and the inside and the outside of the roadbed, and that was really what was able to hold it in place. It's pretty solid, so it's working. But yeah, this should be a nice project. Should be something fun. I am probably going to put legs on it at some point. I'm not sure how I want to go about that yet. Whether I want to do foldables and how high, because like this layout is more appropriate for my kids, so like I want them to be able to enjoy it too. When they can, my girls already know how to work the controllers. My son, he's still too young, so it's just keeping him from grabbing something right off the track or grabbing scenery. But I wanted them to be able to do this. So like I said, on the front, I'm gonna have like a panel here with all the controls. So I'm thinking the NCE Power Cab DCC system, at the least I would get that, but definitely I just want to get the panel so you can actually plug in a DCC controller and get that wired to the track. The second thing I'm going to get as far as the power packs go, because I don't think I'm going to just keep this old model power controller on this set. If you guys haven't seen Apollo panel mounted controllers, it looks like a knob to a stereo almost, but they're really nice. I would definitely recommend getting one of those if you're going to do a more permanent layout. You know, because you do have to wire into the back and wire to the track, but if you have some sort of fascia mount, like a front panel that you can basically hide all the wires, you can, because I plan on having like a surge protector power strip up underneath the thing mounted on the like inside of the frame, so that I can plug in like the DCC controller, the DC controller, any lights that I may have, because that's another thing. I'm actually thinking about adding like a 3 light switch panel and doing street lights around here, and then maybe have some other lights, maybe even some structures, maybe even some lit buildings. I don't know. It just depends on how far we want to go with this, with the Four Seasons layout. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I also have the other Z-Scale project going right now, the little Christmas one. We've had a couple setbacks with that, but we're getting her back on track here. So yeah, like and subscribe, share. Go check out Jimmy's video on his HO layout. If you like HO trains, you're going to want to see that. And so we will hopefully see you in the next one. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you very much.